Sliding through the door just as the tardy bell rings, I feel a huge ray of relief ascend from my shoulders. Talk about perfect timing. Hello there, Miss Ikari. A second later and I would have made you tardy. Of course you would. That's your job, isn't it? I'll ignore your sarcasm. Please go take a seat so I can start my class. Oh my god, my microphone annoys me. I'm aware of that too. Holding back her tongue, I leave the teacher, resisting the urge to strangle me as I head to my seat. I've always been good at getting under teacher's skin, especially hers. I love it. It's like one of those strange addictions people have. You have no idea why you enjoy it, but you just do it. Taking my seat, I can already hear the other students whispering about me, and it's already starting. Doesn't bother me, I'm used to it by now. I can see. These people, every day I have to endure silent, degrading whispers and stares of inferiority from hypocritical people who have no right to judge me, but after the 3 past years of this, I'm used to it. If I'm not invisible to the class, which is most of the time, then I'm being treated like this. Matter of fact, I actually enjoy it when I hear my name in people's mouths. It fills my cold heart and stone of a heart with reconciliation that my existence is actually acknowledged. I may be hated, but at least they're aware of my existence. That's pretty sad. Alright then. I forgot what voice I wanted to do for her. Alright then. Oh wait, no, that's just Monica. That's just Monica. Alright then, good morning, class. Good morning, ma'am. I hope you're all doing well. Now for today, you'll just carry on with your group projects for class. So make your way to your groups and please try not to tear the room down. Let's not disturb the classes next door to us, okay? Yes, ma'am. The students start getting up and make their way to their respectable groups. I'm staying right here. Throughout the desk arranged and the amount there are, it's not necessarily easy to maneuver around. When you have so many annoying scatterbrains trying to kill each other from just attempting to get by one another. Smart decision is really just having the brain capacity to conjure some common sense. Is to sit and wait for the commotion to die down rather than slaughter everyone because they wouldn't move. To be frank, I also do that. Just wait a little bit until not everyone is moving around everywhere. So in the meantime, a good undisturbed nap will conclude my willingness to participate in today's nonsense. But as soon as I place my head into my arms, someone interrupts me. Wow, you look like crap. Go shove your hand up your ass and play puppet. I prefer not to shove my hand up my ass, thank you. No, I'm actually here to make your life more miserable by making you work on our project. Wait a minute, I know that voice. I lift up my head. Morning to you too, Hirito. Arito and Hirito. Sup, douchebag? I don't know what voice to give. I'm guessing enemy? No, he's an ally. Okay, I wonder what what an enemy has to do to become an enemy, you know? Not so powerful, 4.7. Unnamed parents, but he's pretty tall. He's the tallest character we've had thus far. Many have often gotten the wrong impression upon first meeting Hirito. Despite initially appearing as impolite and inconsiderate, he's a joy to be around. That's why he's like an ally. He's very caring towards those he considers friends. He does his best to help them when in a rough spot and has proven his loyalty numerous times, although he's not above teasing them as well, often doing it to Arito and Natsuki. Arito is also a smart and resourceful person. He often uses his powers on other devices for his own or other people's gain. What's this? Electrokinesis. Offensive. Users with this ability are able to generate and manipulate electricity. Electrokinetics can use the currents in their body and fire bolts in various sizes. Experienced users are also able to shape electricity into different shapes, such as weapons. Should a user run low on energy, they can absorb energy from other electrical sources. The electricity can be used to manipulate other electronic devices. Electrokinetics can use their power to travel at super speeds by traveling through other electrical sources. Users are also able to levitate. Okay. Harito, an electrokinetic Esper. I can't read today. I knew since the beginning of high school. Who goes around ripping off the school from short-circuiting vending machines to give him free drinks. He's the guy I go to for a drink or two to be stolen whenever I forget my wallet at home. I should also mention he's a grade A dumbass. Who also happens to be the only other male that's daring enough to talk to me. He comes across as a jerk, like me, but unlike me if you just sit down and talk to him and ignore his rudeness. He's actually not too terrible to be around. He's by far one of the most caring and realist people I have ever met. Speaking is difficult. But he is still pretty terrible nonetheless. I remember not being very fond of him at first. We would always collide heads and dispute over everything. In a way, we still do, but it's not as aggressive and degrading as it has been in the past. I guess what I'm trying to say is, his presence doesn't tempt me into considering committing suicide out of agitation and having my thin line of patience scattered within hearing him breathe. Yeah, that seems accurate enough. I have no idea what voice to give him. I want to ask how it's going, but you already know the answer. I'm fine! Well, if you say so. No use trying. That's your sister's job, not mine. Anyways, you ready to carry on with our project? No, I said damn it and burn it all. Of course you did. Let's hope Saito did her part. Are you trying to get us killed? Saito. Cliché wand-waving, spell-casting lunatic with a bad attitude. Probably the only other person besides my sister that I'm cautious around and highly recommend not stumbling onto her bad side. I mean, apparently we also shouldn't stumble into Sayori's bad side. It's just that, it's very difficult to do so, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. One does not simply call her by her last name. I wonder if we'll meet her. The last time someone called her that, the poor soul got blown up. I can't imagine how expensive that hospital bill was. Jesus. Girl doesn't have to be that aggressive, does she? Oh, calm down. She's still on the other side of the classroom. Anyways, you think she did? I don't see why she wouldn't. Well, she takes this dumbest project more seriously than the both of us combined. Well, just surprising, considering she never struck me to be the working type. True, that's Saito for you. You really want to die, don't you? It's not my fault she makes it so easy. Yeah, about as easy as me kicking... wait a second. Is that now maybe, Saito? about as easy as me kicking your ass! What the? Oh no, that's Natsuki. Yeah, about as easy as me kicking your ass! A short and very irritated pink-haired girl suddenly appears behind Hirito, sending him into a state of horror. Natsuki! Well, speak of the devil. Aha! Oh, so that is Saito. Natsuki Saito, 17 currently. A profession high school student. Yes, like all of us we are. Power scale 4.5. Oh, so I think she's even... Oh. Yeah, she's not very powerful. Species human. We only know about her father, Katashi Saito. Oh no! Well, again, we're around the same height. I'm just... Okay, we're on... Oh my god, but she weighs so much more than... Oh, I'm not complaining, I know I'm underweight, but... I'm underweight, so it makes sense that she weighs more than me. I don't know, is that thing? I'm like, around 41 to 43 kilograms. I don't know. But I don't know how to... the annoying tsundere and fiery sorceress. Natsuki is very brash and prideful. She's not afraid to say what's on her mind and doesn't take slack from anyone. This makes it difficult to get to know her. However, despite her brash nature, she's very caring to those close to her. She's also noted to be a lot more soft than she lets on. Telling that to her face has proven to be a bad idea, as well as calling her cute. She also has a mischievous side. She often places hexes or plays pranks on those that have wronged her or her friends. It's noted that she shows great interest in magic. Shocker, I know. Always willing to learn something new about it, be it artifacts, books, or spells. She's also adept at alchemy. Interesting. So Natsuki's like a very smart individual. Hexes. Curse. This ability is found only in those who study magic, or more specifically black magic. Hexes are curses used to negatively affect the victim. The danger of hexes can range from simple body aches, growing extra limbs, bad luck, to outright death. There are countless types of hexes that can usually be learned in specific spell books or from other experienced users, such as witches. Due to being part of black magic, hexes tend to be frowned upon, although most hexes are not truly illegal. God damn it, Nat! You know how it's rude to sneak up on people like that! What's also just talking about them behind their backs? Oh, believe me, I would still talk about you even if you're standing in front of me. Besides, it's not my fault you're so uptight. Yep, he's really trying to sign his death warrant. Excuse me! I'm not uptight, thank you very much! Did I say upright or did I say uptight rightfully? I don't know. I just take my schoolwork seriously. Like both of you. Care to explain to me why I'm getting dragged into this? Because you suck just as equally as him. Actually worse. Not even the same league worse. Thanks for stating the obvious for the 1000th time. You know, all this is coming from a girl who barely does any of her work. I don't know what words to give Hirito! When have you ever taken an assignment seriously? It's a major grade, duh! Of course I'm going to take it more seriously than anything else. My grade is on the line here. Alright, whatever you say. Do we have noted? Ah, these two. Sometimes I can almost forget they're not a couple. They sure as hell argue like one. I mean, here I am writing in my notebook and they have yet to realize what I'm doing. So he is just writing the whole time these things in this notebook. Why is he... But... Why did she why did she have this entry? Like, he reminded us what he was doing. It makes sense from a story point, from a storytelling point, but generally, shouldn't this already just be on some page in the notebook? I've actually never seen couples fight like that exactly. I have seen a few like couple fights, but like not exactly this either. Alright, whatever you say. Saito. Saito. She slowly takes out her wand. Alright, fine! Alright, fine. Are we gonna get on with the project or not? Unless you two want to waste more time being lovers, then yes. Both their faces fell into complete shock and utter bafflement. So I'm guessing he and Natsuki are kind of like a couple, and maybe him and Yuri, because I'm pretty sure it had something to do with Yuri. Alright, cool. Now that you two have a common enemy, you two can finally work together instead of clawing at each other's throats, which ultimately doesn't scratch the surface of my annoyance. We all win here! Yay! The short-lived appalled dislikement of my statement is now replaced with glares of daggers. If there's one thing I'm good at in this life, it's unifying hatred to myself for others' sake. It's one of my proudest traits. Alright, let's get shit done before I lose the will to actually do anything productive and revert back to my actual self. Don't want that, do we? Fine! With that, we task ourselves to different parts of the project as we did last Friday and begin tackling it down to the bone. There's one thing in life I'm good at. It's unifying hatred. That book will be a fine addition to my collection. Seems like the gates of hell are finally opening. Jesus, why are you so edgy all the time? Asking that is like asking why the hell you're so short. Youch! So you're asking to get slapped? Nope. I think Hirito wants to. But no, I watched Hirito's soul get taken away. Again. Ouch! What's that for? Laughing at this loser's remark. Oh no, my feelings. Ah! What? So you'll slap me for laughing, but not him for actually saying it? Yep, I knew her since middle school, so she won't dare to. As if! Just because I know you longer doesn't mean you get any special treatment. Ouch. Serves you guys right. Whatever, Saito. Both know you just wanted an excuse to slap us. Damn right I did. I'll do it again too. And again, and I'll send enough electricity through your body to paralyze you. Oh, I'm so scared. I feel like there's a spell to counter that. There they go again, arguing like usual. To regular students, this might seem like a negative confrontation, but to us it's basically normal. This happens all the time between us. It's almost natural that we act like this. Them especially. I usually just remain passive and keep to myself unless spoken to, which is currently at this moment. Whatever, Saito, I'm done arguing with you. What? Well, I'm not! He mocks her reply in a degrading tone. You son of a... Hey, Arito! You think what I'm thinking? About what color panties she's wearing? What? Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the plan. Oh, you mean Operation Cinder? Yep, I think it's time. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, the music especially is kind of... I need to turn it down. I don't know if this will affect the audio. I don't know if this will affect the audio in the video, but if, then I remembered how many times I turned it down because it's way too loud and I can't hear myself speaking or thinking. Huh? What are you two going on about? Don't worry about it, it doesn't concern you. Both me and Kirito get up from our desks and start heading to the door, leaving Natsuki behind to grumble in confusion. Wait, hold on! What the hell are you guys planning? Grabbing her things, she leaves the classroom with us, interrogating both me and Kirito as we walk out the door. Hey, I'm talking to you! Hello? You hear something, Anita? I shrug. Of course you hear something. Of course you hear something! I'm talking to you, damn it! That's so, I guess I'm just hearing things then. It's more like dipshit. Right. Well, this is where I split the atoms and bolt the hell out of here. Oh, you're just gonna leave me all alone with this thing, huh? Who are you calling that a thing? I'll see you, you petite looking lolly. What? Yep, totally regret saying that. Dudes. Sparkling electricity disappears just as Natsuki takes a swing at him. You cheeky bastard, where are you? Reappearing behind us, he calls out to me. Remember the plan? I have no idea what voice. I don't respond as I wave a motionless goodbye. How do I get back here? I'm not through with you. But I am. I watch him to take off into the crowd, shoving past some very upset students. Give it to you, asshole! And now I'm completely alone with a teenage girl with an attitude problem as worse as mine. It should be as bad as mine, or worse than mine, right? I don't think this makes sense. I know that there are, if not worse, as bad as mine. It was probably supposed to say. Definitely spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes here and there, but I can live. Yeah, definitely worse. Oh, you got to be kidding me! Don't make me slap you again, Arito. Tell me what the hell you guys are planning. The actual plan? There is no plan. A simple proclamation of something that doesn't exist can really psychologically plummet the human mind into complete turmoil if they aren't aware of the truth. It's quite hilarious if my soul had access to feeling a sense of humor, but I guess I'm just too lifeless for that. Hey! What doesn't off on me and tell me what the hell you're planning! It's not planning when you already have a plan. We're in a difference. And you know the difference from a slap and a fist to the jaw! How cute. I'm being threatened by a... I don't know if I want to say that. Why did I say that? Say what?! Why you... I barely dodged a tiny fist full of fury. Missed. I dodged another. Nope. And another. And another. We can do this all day, but we both know you can't touch me unless you use one of your spells. Ugh, you're such an asshole. Ass, you know that, right? Yep, pretty good at it too. Yeah, no shit. No wonder why my sister is my favorite. I never wonder because I already know. It's pretty obvious why. I'm disobedient, a delinquent, what did I just say? A delinquent, unsociable cynic, overly expressed jerk, and a walking bastard of a brother. This music is really bothering, like it's draining even more of my attention for some reason. My sis, on the other hand, well, there's no comparison. You make it sound like you take pride in that. What? You want me to lie and say I don't? Just shut up already. Easy. I grow quiet. Thank God! I thought you'd never shut up. I began communicating with sign language. You didn't say anything about me talking with my hands, but I bet you can't understand what the hell I'm doing. Ugh, no sign language either, damn it! I can't understand what you're saying! That sounds like a you problem. She takes another pointless, inaccurate swing and again. Shut up before I cast a tooth decay spell on you! I enter silence mode. Poke fun at me all you want. I'd rather not suffer with decaying teeth all day. Thank you! Jeez! The last time I pushed Natsuki over the edge, she placed a tooth-aching spell on me. The entire day it felt like my jaw was being crushed by a tank. Copying me, we both walked to our next class in silence as we received states of confusion. It's not every day you see the two biggest sarcastic scumbags of the school walking together. And some, and by some I mean everyone, we seem like we hate each other by how often we argue and insult one another. And the obvious ones are physical harassment. But in reality, this is just how we are, as friends is what everyone calls it. Not a word I would actually describe this odd relationship I have with her. It's pretty normal for Natsuki to throw hands or to scold me for every little thing I do or say, or existing. Just like Hirutu, after a lot of time having to deal with her attitude in the club, I developed a resilience to no longer care about what she possesses that's capable to piss me off. Some may say why, but to be honest, I don't really know myself. I guess you can say why we don't claw at each other's throat is because we share the same neutral understanding of each other's resentment towards everyone else around us. She dislikes people because they're rude, inconsiderate, and very critical to her hobbies. Me, on the other hand, I hate people because of their social and psychological tendencies to display insecurities while be blind to the consequences they truly spring upon others. This twisted society and its corruption. Two-faced liars and narcissistic formalities. Gullible fools who give birth to their own demise. In other words, we hate people for the same reasons, just mine is more broader and more deeply rooted than hers. More cynical. And it sounds fancier. Because of that shared distaste, we somehow became what we are now. A strange bond between two electrons. But it's whatever. Oh, and we have Sayori to thank as well. She wouldn't stop harassing us with care and attention until we spoke a single word with each other. So there's that reason too. The more I think about it, if it wasn't for Sarah practically forcing both me and her to have socialized with each other, my view I had before wouldn't have changed. I would purely hated her. Well, in a sense I still do, but that comes natural, so everyone around me, no matter who they are. Hey, Arito!
I won't. I need to actually stop recording, but I'm not going to stop until I'm free of this music.
Entry 13. This is the only reason why me and Natsuki even talked in the first place. I've known this girl existed ever since middle school. I even had to sit next to her in 2 of my classes. Not once did we ever say a word to each other.
Not even when we transitioned into high school.
It wasn't until I was blackmailed into the literature club that we finally spoke to one another. And why her first words to me was, "Ew, why'd you bring that animal here?" Hey, Arito! Yeah? Can I ask you a question? Ask away. Are you just gonna come to the club on time, or are you gonna blow us off like last time? I raised an eyebrow.
Don't look at me like that! It's not gonna ask because I care or anything!
It's classic sense. Why are you even asking me this? Simply because you're an asshole! Fair enough. I'm being serious! I look down at Natsuki as she stares back at me with a half-attempted concerned expression. It's obvious Monica must have told her about what happened this morning, because there would be no other reason she'll be talking to me half genuine about this. Usually it would be a lot more sour and more of a demand that I be there rather than be a question. I guess my sister is behind this, huh? Why else would I be asking? See?
Ugh, why the hell does she always have to go off and tell everyone we know about my problems?
My issues are my issues alone. No one else's. Well, I did promise Monica I wouldn't be late today, so...
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I guess. We fall silent again. I don't mind it, though, I spit it this way. Mainly because I don't enjoy small talk, and I also found a fresh dose of displeasure from my sister. No reason to genuinely lash out at Nat and cause an actual heated discussion between us two. Keeping quiet, we finally reach our next class. Mystic Arts. One of the very few classes I somewhat have an interest in. Well, here we are. I wonder if there's an interesting lesson today.
Well, for me at least.
Yeah, sure. Concern yourself with only yourself. Hey, I'm just doing what I do best.
Stop copying me.
Oh, please. I wouldn't copy you
Even if my life depended on it.
I guess I'll just laugh at your grave then. I feel a punch land in my arm followed by a soft laughter.
Yeah, right! Like you have any life left in you to laugh.
Because of that, I'll make sure I don't pass on so I can haunt you for the rest of your life.
Please don't. Already a hassle enough to deal with while alive.
Keep pushing my buttons and I will!
She laughs at my pain.
Kinda weird. She sounds so gentle and joyful when she laughs. It's almost like a reverse reflection of herself. Even under all that harsh skin and that sour attitude, she presents herself She's actually quite soft and possibly a genuine person. And the music stopped. Unlike me, I'm nowhere near that. Well, look at that! Seems we're actually early for once. That was not Natsuki's voice. Yeah. So we enter the room, barely half the class hasn't even arrived yet, which is kinda surprising. This is by far the only class that I know of where everyone either makes it on time, or like me and Natsuki, we arrive early. I don't really care. That just means less people to deal with, for now at least. Both me and Natsuki walk to our desks, and unfortunately for my sanity's well-being, our desks are right next to each other. It's not that I don't want to sit next to Natsuki, actually I don't mind it. It's the part where she doesn't shut her mouth at all in this class that bothers me. Since this is our mystical arts class, and nearly everything we learn here piques our interests, including my own. Natsuki's level of passion for this class is borderline lunatic, which breeds the constant running of her mouth to me. And only me. Ugh. Hey Natsuki, can you do me a favor? Depends if I like it or not. Forget it, never mind. You want me to shut up for this class, huh? Oh, I want you to tell me all about Chapter 12 of Arcane Arts and how useful it is. Oh, really? I never would have said... never knew you had such interest in arcane arts. Well, let me bless you with my knowledge. Why does she have to be as sarcastic as me? Taking our seats, she begins running her mouth about magic. It doesn't take long before I tune out her nonsense. It's probably not nonsense, it's just something you're interested in. Won't change the fact that it's not nonsense. I simply sigh and stare out the window, the usual. Students scramble around the courtyard, rushing to get to their classes on time, while some walk without a care in the world. Even one of them I see leaving the front gate. Oh! Okay. I do wonder, we have not heard anything of Yuri yet. I wonder if she's part of the club, because from the little description I had on the mod page, it seemed like Yuri might not be part of the club yet, but I don't know. I wish that was me right now. Yet you decided to stay, leaving this wretched place. What am I even doing here? I should be home, hibernating until the world becomes less riddled with idiots. Not stuck here in a stupid school being tormented by society's idea of living. I'd much rather be dragged through a boiling lake of tar than participate in such a bogus lie. But I made a promise to a certain annoying someone to do this very annoying thing. By all means, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that. I should have kept my mouth shut and accepted the ass chewing. But it is what it is, I guess. No use complaining about something you can't change. Besides, a promise is a promise. I'm not someone who takes pride in shattering them, even if I want to break it with the deepest reaches of my cold heart. But I won't, because that means I'll become the very thing I hate. But frankly, I personally enjoy not disliking myself. I mean, I got decent looks, unnoticeable high grades, A+ wittiness, and a realistic point of view. Hey, are you ignoring me? I continue to ignore her. You are ignoring me! I was until you interrupted me. What? How does that make any bit of sense? Same sense while you're still talking to me. We'll see how it is. You know you're being more of an ass today than usual. And that's a problem to me. How? She goes silent, but not without glaring a hole through my soul. I'll admit I am being more of a grade A jackass than I usually am. I usually remain quiet and I silently scorn everyone. But anyone who dares to attempt to understand me should already be well aware that some days your emotions can be as meaningless to me as killing a fly. Well, I'm guessing you don't mind killing a fly. I actually am someone who really doesn't like hurting flies either. Or mosquitoes. I actually have a bit of a problem. Because in mosquitoes, I'm like, I want to catch them, put them outside. I know many. I know most people.
the vast majority are completely fine with killing them. But I can't. And I'm saying the vast majority and not everyone aside from me because I have a friend who too doesn't like killing mosquitoes. Well, 2 friends actually. See, it's the vast majority, but it's 3 weirdos over here. It's just, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt anything. Like, I get that I am, like Monica says in Act 3, I am killing millions of microorganisms daily just by kind of walking or existing. But if I can avoid it, why shouldn't I avoid it? Jerk. Facing forward, she must know I'm a lost cause at this point, or at least for the meantime. Either way, she finally decided to shut her mouth, paving a way to some much-needed peace and quiet. What? I retract my attention away from the window to observe the class. Oh, you gotta be kidding me? When the hell did they all get here so fast? Was it really that in tune with my thoughts? Alright! Alright, class! For all those who are still standing, please take your seats so we can start today's lesson. The remaining standing students shuffle to their desks. I don't know what I'm doing with the voices anymore. It doesn't take long before everyone is to be seated. Alright then, with everybody seated, let us get started today. Grabbing a dry erase maker. Teach begins writing something on the board. He's done in a few seconds. Beasts. Seriously? This better be interesting. Speaking of interest, it seems like the whole class is hooked, and unfortunately for myself, it even got Natsuki's attention. Just the opposite of saying a sight for sore eyes. Looks like I can kiss my plan to ignore Natsuki goodbye. Alright class, with the topic of the day on the board, I would like you all to turn to page 489 in your textbook so everyone can follow along. We take out our textbooks from underneath the desks and begin finding the page. And by we, I mean them, because I don't even have a book under mine. Double checking, there's still no book that magically appeared. Son of a... What seems to be the problem, Mr. Ikari? I have no idea. I don't know what voice I'm doing right now. I think the problem is pretty obvious, sir. If it was obvious, I wouldn't have asked. Even though he tried to sound common. Yes. I do like to try and voice act, but honestly, I'm feeling the voice right now. Even though he tried to sound calm and nice, I can see right through his hidden annoyance. Pretending to place a book on my desk, I open it up and begin flipping through the pages with a confused expression on my face. Mr. Ikari, what are you doing? Looking for page 489. But you don't have a book. Wait, what? I don't? Oh my, how foolish of myself! It's like I never had a book to begin with! I'm so embarrassed! I honestly am not fully sure what the, not cursive, but the slanted text means. Because, like, if it's, I, like, use it for my own writing, too, to, like, put emphasis on a word, or when it's, like, thoughts or something, when it's like first person and it's kind of like adding thoughts or something, or in specific cases for something unique, but I honestly am unsure what exactly it means here. Is it like a uniquely phrased sentence? I need to observe it more. Oh, okay, Mr. Ikari, I get it. A simple explanation would have been better. But if you don't have a book, then maybe you can share off someone. How about you share with Miss Saito? I look over at Natsuki. Yeah, that's not happening. Rolling my eyes, I take out my notebook for notes. Not understanding my response, Teach just stands there looking stupid. Notes. As if... Well, are we gonna start? He simply sighs and reply. Let's begin then, shall we? Oh, another journal! Oh. It might be calmer music. Actually, I'm not sure. I should write. I'll become the very image I hate. I hate those who break their promises. Like it's nothing more than killing mosquito. Killing a mosquito is a big deal for me! Are they listening? Why commit to a pact with no intention to uphold it? In my eyes, promises are worse than lies. When you construct an empty pledge to someone, you raise their spirit, hopes and faith, but in reality, they don't know how unsure you are. They're unaware if you even want to fall through with that promise or not. Fall through? Do you say fall through? I know follow through, but I'm actually unsure of fall through because I know the first book I ever wrote in English. Well, the first. My first drafts have always been on paper, and that has started since I was 8. And as you can imagine, an 8-year-old, my 8-year self, I was better in English than certain others because I started very young. Because for some reason I started watching my favorite childhood movies in English when I was like 4 or something. I don't know why, but I just at some point did it. But even so, it's not like my 8-year-old self was a genius who really knew everything about English. So sometimes when I read it, it's like, it's just poorly written, as in the story is horribly structured. Sometimes, I should say after that. And also, it's just like the stories are like sentence structures or like specific words. Oh my god, I don't even want to think about it. At least it's fun to read aloud to other people. For some reason I had a really big problem with ran, because I always like used run it away. Like not she ran away because she was scared of something, but she run it away. But sometimes the premises were really great, and honestly sometimes the characters, honestly, the mere concepts of them were pretty nice. So honestly, a lot of my stories that I'm currently kind of working on simultaneously are based still on like the stories I had when I was 8. Of course, usually very differently structured, and the characters are much better written, I would hope. I would hope it's better written than what my 8-year-old wrote, but my 8-year-old self wrote. Sometimes I have like still the concepts of the characters or even storylines and plot lines and everything still from back then. Because they honestly by themselves as concepts were perfectly fine. It's just they needed some work of someone who knows English better. And of someone who's a bit more capable of logical following thoughts. Yeah. You know? Anyway, it just reminded me of that, because I know I used to write it like fall through, but now I only use follow through. And when they realize that you abandoned that vow, they're crushed, betrayed, abandoned. You shattered that expectation I held so dear to them, whether be it small or major. No matter how in depth that promise is rooted into their soul, there is one fact that never changes: the fact that you betrayed their trust. And when you betrayed someone's trust, who's to say they won't betray you? Promises are worse than lies. There is no greater fraud than a vow that can't be kept. In return, why are societies filled with extortion? Because we live in a world built on promises constructed by lies. Well, so far the class is relatively interesting, I'll admit. So far we have learned about the giant species of snakes called Titanoboa. They're overly huge for no apparent reason other than to just be big and live back as far as dinosaur times. The Titanoboa maybe, actually. I know some snake species existed back then. I'm preparing my tea right now. But also I was obsessed with dinosaurs when I was younger too. Like my first stories were all dinosaur based. Like the stories I wrote when I was not writing in English yet. Before I was 8. Always like in my head to music. It's dinosaurs and my favorite, I don't know, characters of whatnot. And snakes too. Anything reptiles. Rabbits and reptiles were my bread and butter back then. And now, well, now it's basically anything, including the mosquitoes. They may be long and fat, but like any other snake, they can move extremely fast, and it depicts you as food. The artistic Titanoboa. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly with like in English. I know Titanoboa is like it's said that's exact like that in German. It's written the exact same way, just with a capital first letter. You might as well kiss your ass goodbye, but that's usually rare. Most Titanoboas don't attack humans unless they're perceived as a threat to them, and even then you most likely won't be eaten. Killed, yes, but not eaten. Despite their massive size, they have an appetite of a hummingbird. Surprise, surprise! Eating a single crocodile can cure its hunger for an entire year. Now that doesn't mean they still won't swallow you whole if you piss them off. It's uncommon and really it depends on its attitude, but some Titanoboas will swallow you whole, digest you alive, and then spit you right out. The worst part is that there's a slight offset chance that you may be very well be still alive and actively conscious during the whole process. It's one hell of a way to die. There are many horrible ways to die. But the way I see it, if you're stupid enough to provoke one of those monsters, then you get what's coming to you. What if you don't see it? You know, they kind of remind me of you. I don't even want to know. Damn, Arito, you also be eating people alive and then spitting them out? Not too bad! I'ma tell you anyways. Let's hear it then. They're fat and have a bad attitude when you get too close. Did you just call me fat? That's very skinny. I must say, for some reason, all of this character selection process here is reminding me of probably just because I've been watching a lot of it lately. Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. I really want it, but I don't have any Nintendo games. No, I mean consoles. No Nintendo consoles. And I don't know if I really want to buy a Nintendo 3DS just so I can play one game that I'm interested in. But it's eating me alive. I'm considering buying it for myself as like a Christmas present. By then maybe the game itself has maybe already lost its not lost its value, but like the price maybe has gone down a bit, maybe. I don't know. And well, if I do decide to buy something for one game, I'm gonna buy it used. I'm not going to buy a brand new Nintendo 3DS. Definitely not. Where the hell did you even get that correlation from? I'm not even fat. Whatever you say, fatty. Illogical thinking is a plague. Please go find the nearest doctor. Ignoring her, I return my attention to the lesson. Our teacher is currently talking about trolls. To make sure you understand, this is not very fat. This is not fat at all. That's skinny. All of them skinny. Well, Hirito doesn't have a... Hirito doesn't have a picture. I wonder when we'll get any enemies. Maybe Yuri is the enemy. Our teacher is currently... yeah. Trolls are monsters, creatures, or whatever the hell you want to call them, that has been around since the upbringing of mankind. They're not exactly friendly, and quite frankly, they hate anybody who dares to disturb them, which has caused multiple incidents over the years. There once was almost a war against trolls in the Middle Ages, because a prince got too curious and decided to raid one of their homes. That's not curious. That's no. Let's just say when he returned, he wasn't exactly recognizable, let alone fully intact. Although they might be shorter than your average Natsuki, dumber than your average Hirito, and slower than your average Sayori. Yeah. Sayori is most likely, if she were to use her full potential, very smart too, but also very fast. She can be so fast, she's invisible to the naked eye, so... Those little walking abominations are deadly, and that's an understatement. Piss one off, and he or she will break every bone in your body without breaking a sweat. Hence the mutilated prince. However, when it comes to non-humans, even though they look like us, the trolls don't believe them to be a threat. Instead, they usually ignore them, or even converse with them. Which is no surprise if I'm being perfectly honest here, simply due to the fact that both of them aren't human to begin with. For us, yeah, they want to kill us. Luckily for all the curious morons here, trolls live far away as humanly possible from people, usually somewhere where hardly any, if not no human activity resides. If they lived anywhere remotely close, there would have been a lot of students either going to the hospital or a coffin. Today's society passionately reinforces the saying, curiosity killed the cat. Don't say anything, I already know what you're gonna say. What was I about to say then? That my attitude is just as bitter as them. Well, that's true, but that's not what I was gonna say. What then? They're just as ugly as you! Seriously? You're a real pain. Ignoring her once again, I recenter my attention to class. Now we're talking about the Cyclops. The bigger, nastier, and handsomer, still ugly as hell, version of a troll. I want to say trolls, but then I realized it's singular. Cyclops are huge, one-eyed humanoid monsters that live not only outside humanity, but also within the population. Naturally, you'll find them living in some type of colony in places absent of human activity, such as the wilderness. However, not all Cyclops do. For the ones that live among us, you'll generally find them hidden away in nearby forests, abandoned houses, or really anywhere dark and out of reach of humans. Abandoned houses? We have so many of them nearby! Now, when I say these guys are dangerous, I'm not exaggerating. Anything's dangerous. Titanoboa, the trolls, the Cyclops, all of them. Unlike trolls or Titanoboas, these one-eyed freaks won't attack if you're too close or if they feel threatened. They'll start swinging as soon as they lay their tiny little eye on you. Humanity and non-humans have had a bad rep with these uncivilized freaks in the past, and to be honest, we still do now. Not only have we gone to war with them in recent history, these barbarians are still out here committing murders and atrocities, oh my god, through multiple communities as much as humans do. It's a huge problem. Unlike a person we can chase, injure, or kill them off with ease, Cyclops are the complete opposite. They're nowhere near as weak and thin-skinned as a normal human being, even for us espers. They're overly strong, agile, thick-skinned, and even some possessing abilities as we do. As if one without abilities wasn't hard enough. In other words, they're mankind's stupider, taller, lethal, horrendous-looking older brother. Thankfully for us, we haven't had any Cyclops incidents near the city, but who's to say there won't be any in the future? If they were to start showing up, things would be a real problem. I honestly couldn't give a single care in the world if that would happen. The lives of the people I care about would be put into danger. That's a hassle I would rather avoid. Even though I would have to live my life being threatened every day because of some odd chance of my horrendous luck deciding to completely screw me over, school would be cancelled. If there is no school, then that means no people. No people means some goddamn peace of mind. But as pleasant as it sounds, I'd much rather not have that happen. The reason being, the lives of the people I know would be put into danger, and that's a hassle I would rather avoid. My goal in life is to do as little as possible, not to become some type of responsible guardian. But in all seriousness though, if that day ever comes, I won't hesitate to defend them to the best of my abilities. Even this annoying sourpuss sitting next to me. Hey Aritu, I didn't know you were related to a Cyclops. I hear quiet chuckles from around me. Do you seriously have to compare me to every single monster that we learn about? Yeah, you're right. You should be a league of your own. If I were to throw a stick, you'll leave, right? What's that supposed to mean? Are you calling me a dog? Are you calling yourself a dog? Never. I'd rather be a dog than some abomination like you. I changed my mind. I will gladly watch a Cyclops rip her to shreds. Refocusing myself, I catch on to the next creature. However, I missed a little bit of it due to Natsuki. Draugr are often seen as fallen human warriors whose lives were never put to rest. But that's not the case. Draugrs weren't just undead humans. They actually ranged from many other warriors, such as non-humans, trolls, goblins, minotaurs, and even the Cyclops. No matter what species it belongs to, if it was a warrior that hasn't been laid to rest, it becomes a Draugr. I have read of them before. I've never heard someone say it before, so I don't really know if I'm saying it correctly.
I have a question.
Yes?
There doesn't happen to be any chance we'll ever see one, right?
That's something you won't ever have to worry about. Although Draugrs are undead creatures and rather difficult to dispatch, they have been labeled extinct for over hundreds of years. Is Yuri going to... Fun fact, despite being extinct, the last remaining Draugr was discovered not too long ago in the Sahara Desert. When it was found, it became rather hostile to its discoverers, who severely wounded one of the explorers. Thankfully receiving a call for help, nearby Helix members assisted the group and proceeded to officially label the Draugr population completely extinct. So there is no need to worry about an undead warrior stumbling into the school anytime soon, even for them, or ever for the matter. The class breathes a sigh of relief. Helix Division. Not much is known about this top secret, not so top secret anymore, global security division, other than that they don't work for any nation. Instead, they're a large collective group of special agents who've come from numerous nations, whose sole purpose is protection of Earth's inhabitants from global threats, while hiding in the shadows. They were so well hidden, no one knew they existed, not even the warriors' governments whose agents originated from. That was until recently. I heard about Draugrs, I hope I'm saying it correctly, before. Not very much though. Like what our teacher said, they're an absolute pain in the ass to dispose of. I mean, you can't really kill something if it's already dead, now can you? Even though you cut it down, blow it up, or even turn it to ash, they always come back no matter what you do. Since Draugr weren't exactly your friendly neighbor, their lust for vengeance sculpted them into one of the most feared creatures in the world. They wreaked havoc across the land, killing any organism that would dare challenge them, which is how they earned their reputation. That's basically all I know. I read this from an article when the last remaining Draugr was found and killed, per se. The witnesses, aka the explorers who found it, explained that it took a measurable amount of... It was a measurable amount. I can't speak again. A measurable amount of strength and tactics to kill it off for good, despite being handled by the Helix Division. You mean immeasurable or immeasurable? I don't know. That organization isn't a pushover, so the situation alone practically blames how troublesome Draugrs were. Feel Natsuki's menacing eyes watching. What, no voice cracked this time? No, I'm just trying to figure out if you're dead or not. You know, you've been making a lot of rude and unnecessary comments about me. It's like you can't stop thinking about me. Are you perhaps exercising your tsundere nature because you're secretly in love with me? Snapping her pencil in half, her face grows bright red with embarrassment. Ah, the pleasure I receive from people's humiliation. It's a fantastic feeling. Well, shut up! You don't know what you're talking about! You do? Well, no, stop! Just stop talking! But I said shut up! Excuse me? Her mouth drops with overwhelming dread upon hearing someone's voice. Is everything alright over there? The whole class is looking at us. Everything is fine, sir. Just me making someone feel absolutely miserable. Nothing new. Again, Mr. Ikari? It's already the 6th time this month. I want to see you after class. Yes, sir. God damn it. Now I think that's enough lecturing for the day. As for today's homework, I want a 5-paragraph essay over each of these creatures' characteristics, demeanors, and what you think of them personally. Interesting. As in, it's interesting that they would want to know. Well, I'm moving a lot in the background, so I hope you don't hear too much of it. I'm just wondering, have we ever had anything where it was like, what do you think of it personally? We were like sometimes allowed to make our own interpretations. We were like reading stories, like old stories, but aside from Latin, where we had like specific tasks where we were allowed to like also write about ourselves personally, I don't think we ever had anything like that. The whole class erupts in bitter groans and sighs. Oh, and all of this done and turned in first thing tomorrow morning. No ifs or buts. A minute late and you'll get a 0. The class gasped in horror. And I'll be taking it as a test grade since I know more than a handful of you will most likely blow it off. If you hadn't already taken the class as soul, you sure as hell did now. And I'll be taking it as a test grade since I know more than a handful of you will most likely blow it off. I'm one of those handful. I suggest everyone get to writing. It's going to be a long day ahead of you. Yes, sir. So I guess my freedom is just a joke, huh? Alright, class, I want... As he tries to speak, the bell interrupts him, followed by an explosion of frantic movement from students trying to escape their cruel fates. Toppling over each other, the students one by one flee out the door, grappling onto their forgotten freedom. You gotta be kidding me! Watches Nat explodes from her seat, swinging her textbook around like it's some kind of baton. I know what it is, but I don't know how it's said! 5 paragraphs? Over each one? I sometimes write more in a day just because I want to. Like, for a lot of my stories, I have like the first few drafts. What I'm trying to get better at is writing the descriptions of the characters themselves. There are some characters which are like very important where I never just gave a description. So I really need to start working on that. Oh, the fucking tomorrow? What the? Ugh. Snatching her things, she storms out of the class, cursing out loud. Tranquility is a virtue, Natsuki. Maybe one day she realized that. Grabbing my own things, I start making my way towards the door you were supposed to stay. Mr. Ikari, where exactly do you think you're going? Well, shit. I knew I should have stayed home. Fucking Monica. Fucking Monica. What was just said? I didn't get to see that. I didn't press for it though. Oh wait. It was just fucking Monica. I thought something new was it. I was concerned in the school halls cornered in the school halls by another group of morons. Again, that's been the 4th time in the past 2 months. I wonder how long it's going to take before people realize how insignificant their insults are, how stupid it is to believe that I'll feel intimidated.